Okay, so this practice is a little more geared towards strengthening in the arms and shoulders. I'm going to be showing things in a number of different positions. You don't need to do all of them in one session. You can use the timestamps in the description below to find different ones on different days if you want to. But basically, we're going to do an exercise in one position and follow it up with a stretch, an exercise in another position, follow it up with a stretch. So the first one that we're gonna do, I've just got this ball here. It's fairly squishy, medium-sized ball. And we're going to be at a wall. And so I'll just show you the position I'll be in first because my back will be to you in a moment. We're gonna be at a wall where the ball is about chest height in front of you and your elbow's a little bent. And the idea is that you're gonna be doing maybe, spelling the alphabet with the ball against the wall, okay? So we're just here and we're just gonna do some little random movements. And you're trying to keep it kind of in front of your body, not too far out to the side. We will be doing that later. Okay? Now, if you want to make this one a little more challenging, if you need a little more challenge, you can step away from the wall a bit more and have your arm more straight out front and do the exact same thing. And you don't need to be here long. If you're feeling the burn in your shoulder or fatigue or pain, you can back off, you can take a break, you can bend your elbow again, you can move even closer to the wall so that your elbow's even more bent. Whatever you need to do to find that edge where you are challenging yourself, but you're not hurting yourself, okay? So after doing that with this arm, the stretch we're gonna follow it up with is also at the wall. So you can stand at the wall with your arm out to the side, and then you can turn your body away. Breathe into it. Okay, you can slowly ease out of that. We'll try the other side. So switching hands, starting off with that slightly bent elbow. Ball is fairly in front of your chest. Moving it around. Just kind of random. It doesn't have to be a specific perfect pattern. Reality is we often need to use our hands in unexpected ways or quickly catch something or move something. So you want your arm to feel confident and comfortable just moving quickly to do something. And you can also increase the intensity of this by pressing your hand into the ball a little bit more. I forgot to mention that on the first side. So if you want to increase intensity, again, we can straighten the arm out. That means that the movement's going to be coming even more from the shoulder joint and not maybe from your forearm twisting or your elbow bending, but also you can add more pressure onto the ball. Okay, we can ease off of that. We can put this arm against the wall and then turn away from it. Okay, you can slowly ease off of that. So now we're going to aim for an overhead position. So the ball's going to come up against the wall, and again, you can decide how much pressure you place into it. And this one, I find I kind of just do more of a windshield motion because to do it up and down is a little tricky unless you're going to start bending your elbow a lot, which you can do. There's nothing wrong with that. Depends on what your trouble areas are and what you're trying to strengthen. What feels to you and your body the most useful or beneficial. You can also just press and release. There will be some core activation that probably happens just to give your arms something to press off of. Okay, and then we can bring that down. Now, a stretch that we can do here after that right arm is you're going to go to give yourself a little pat on the back. And if you can be mindful of keeping your elbow pointing upward, you can then just turn your head away and down. If you find keeping your elbow pointing up is tricky, you can go to a doorway. And having your arm resting against the door frame can help you remember to keep your arm up. Okay, we can come out of that. Let's try the other arm. So up high, windshield wiper movements back and forth. You can get the elbow a little involved and do more of a circular or alphabet kind of situation. You can just stand and press and release. And you decide how much you challenge your tissues. Okay, we'll bring the arm down from the wall, move the ball into the other hand, sending this elbow towards the ceiling now, looking away and down. Okay, you can slowly let that go. So now we're going to come to the wall, but with our back towards the wall. We're going to take the ball in one hand and we're just going to press back, okay? So that low behind the back pressure, again, you can move it around, you can just pulse pressure on and off, you can just move side to side, whatever feels the most useful to you. Okay, so now we're going to take that hand, we're going to put it into a similar position as the last stretch we did, but now your hand can come up, if it can move this way, and take your elbow and just encourage your elbow back a little bit, or you can stand in a doorway and then just kind of step forward. But we're just going to be putting a bit of a stretch on the tricep muscles here, down the back of the upper arm. If getting your arm way up here is too much, you can just go to where you can go and you can come to a wall at whatever height you have just to support your elbow in space, so long as you're just feeling a gentle pull down that back line of the arm. So let's come to the other side now and do this behind the body pressure with the left arm. We don't do a lot of stuff behind our bodies, so sometimes this is a tricky thing for people. I really like the press and release. But even rolling the ball up and down kind of gets the shoulder moving a bit differently in this backwards pressure way. Okay, let's stretch out that one. So again, just going as high as you can go with the arm that's comfortable and manageable, and then encouraging that elbow back, whether you're using the wall, the doorway, your hand, and regardless of what height your elbow's at. All right, and release. Okay, second to last movement. We are going to face the wall again. This time we are going to have our arm in sort of an L shape like this. So we've got the arm away from the midline. We've also got it rotated back, okay? If you don't have full rotation, you could just stand a little further away from the wall, right? Because this is neutral. So even if that's as much as you can rotate, you could be here. You just need to stand a little further away from the wall. And this can be a challenging one. You don't need to put a lot of pressure into the ball, but even just being in this position and moving the ball against the wall just stimulates your shoulder mobility in a different way. So for this one, I particularly like just making little circles. Okay, we can come out of that. To stretch this, we are going to find a doorway. We're going to put our arm in the same position, but we're going to be in the doorway, and then we're just going to kind of either lean forward or twist away. I personally find I get more out of the twist away, but you know, try both and see what works best for you. Okay, you can back off of that stretch. We're gonna try the other arm now. So cactus arm on the left. You don't need to press into the ball too hard, just enough to hold it up in space. And we can just do some circles here. Ball starts to travel sometimes. Okay, so we can come out of that. We're going to come back to a doorway. I'm going to face this way this time. So putting the arm in the same position and either stepping forward or twisting away. This is very similar to the bicep stretch we did at the beginning, just with the elbow bent. It kind of changes where you feel the pull sometimes. We've slackened off the arm by bending the elbow, so this one kind of can make it easier to target across the armpit and chest, whereas the other one, I personally feel the stretch more down the length of my arm because all those muscles are lengthened and the stretch just seems to hit there first. Okay, you can come out of that. Now our last movement for the day is one of the harder ones, and you're probably going to feel more of a fascial pull or nerve flossing down your arm. So you can put a bit of a bend in your elbow if you need to, but basically we're going to hold the ball straight out to the side against the wall. So you're going to be standing beside the wall, arm outstretched, pinning the ball between you and the wall, and probably just make some circles here with the ball against the wall, trying to keep the elbow straight, but don't make it too intense of a sensation, and trying to keep the arm around shoulder level, like a T if you can. But again, don't hurt yourself. If you don't have that range of motion right now, keep it lower. So just keeping on with the circles. okay? So to stretch now after this one, what I like to do is a little funny. I'm gonna actually move the camera a little bit. So just so that you have a better view of my doorway here, we want to stretch this right arm that we have just moved against the wall. So I'm going to stand in the doorway. I'm going to take my right arm and I'm going to reach it up overhead and grab the door frame above my head on the left side of my body. Okay, and if you can kind of curl your fingers around that door frame, that's a little bit easier. And then we're going to send the body away and kind of bow the body away. The other arm might feel good down here. It might want to be up top with the other one. It might want,